everybody wants to have a dream life. Everybody wants to achieve a goal. Everybody wants something different in their life. But the hardest thing that I struggled on was finding out the real true reason onto why I wanted to do those things in the first place. And I used to cope around like, oh, I just want to help out my family. I want to help out my brother. I want to help out my sister. I want to help out my girlfriend, which is now my ex. I want to help out my friends. I want to do all these different things in my life. But then I started to realize like that is the bare minimum. That is where everything changed. When I told myself like, you know, that is the bare minimum. But why do I want to pick up my little brother in a Lamborghini at school? Why do I want it? Why do I want to walk? Why do I want to go back to my hometown and say I made it? Why do I want that? And it came into a conclusion where I genuinely wanted the respect, power, the authority over people, and being a leader. Because my whole entire life I felt like I was never a leader. I felt like my dad, my older brother, my sister would just somehow get over me. And it's kind of crazy, and I don't want to go too in depth because I never really told anybody this story. I probably told a couple people, but I'll tell you the story like right after. But first, like, I was realizing like, bro, my older brother, my half brother, my dad, my mom, they would walk all over me, and then I would just like let it slide. And I was like, why do I know that I shouldn't let it slide? Why do I know and I have this feeling in my gut, in my soul, that I shouldn't let this slide and I should speak up, but I never really did. I was so lost. And so I would just be like, all right, I'm just doing this for myself because I want to feel good. Like I want to help them out at the same time and stuff. And where everything changed too was like obviously me starting like online business and starting like my entire journey to where I am today. It came down to quitting my job and going all in and telling my dad that I control my own life. This is my life. This is where I evolve. And obviously my dad, like as a Hispanic, if you guys are Hispanic, my dad is gonna go crazy. My dad is gonna get mad. My dad is gonna do all these things. And obviously he crashed out in front of everybody. My family they obviously believed in me, but they would consciously tell me that I'm not worth it. They would consciously tell me that like, you know, I heard my dad always tell me I'm a disappointment. He was tough on me, very, very tough. And I was like, why does he have so much power over me? And I just feel disrespected. And I would go to my room and just cry and be like, why does this feel this way? I want to be better than people. But I never wanted to admit it. I thought it was bad to tell God like I want power over these people. I would literally pray to God and say, one day I hope people see like who I wanted to become. People see the results. People see me and they're like, wow, Dylan actually made it. Dylan was actually right from the first start. But why did I want myself to be right? And it was because power, bro. Like it was authority. I wanted that. I would get so pissed off in my unconscious mind when my older brother, my dad, would just basically like have an ego over me, and I couldn't do anything about it. And so I was just coping to be this good person and like that, just ignore them, like it's fine. And people would tell me that online. I would be like, yeah, just don't say anything, just go on your way, just make money, which is I guess like sort of right. But imagine where I'd be today. Imagine how fast I would have been successful if I admitted why I wanted to do these things in the first place, which is help out my family. Why did I want to pick up my brother, my little brother, in a Lamborghini from school? Why do I want to do that? And it all came down to just like feeling better than people. Everyone in school looking at that, damn, that's your older brother right there. He's the one picking you up in the Lambo. What does he do? I want to know what he does. What is that person? Why is he so successful and all these other people have normal cars? Like I wanted this because I felt very powerless. And when I started to admit these things into my day-to-day basis, I was like, I am doing this because I want to feel 100% more authority than everybody else. I know I deserve respect. I don't deserve, because this is what you guys need to start doing. You guys need to just start saying like, I don't deserve disrespect. I deserve people to look up to me and crave the way that I am, the way that I hold myself, which is at a high standard. And when I started implementing these things, like my life started changing dramatically. My life started changing fast because I was my most authentic self. I was my most whole self, and I felt very fulfilled after. And the quote that I always say is, well, like you have to get through hell to get to heaven. You have to go through dark to get to light. You have to go through all these different changes in order to see the end of the tunnel. And you can't just like focus on just like bright. You can't just focus on heaven, everything's gonna be good. I integrated the shadow of myself. I integrated the dark self of me, and I admitted things that I never wanted to admit, that I thought it was bad, to God. And when I found out that God has never wanted something set and planned for me, never wanted me to just be a good person and let people walk all over me. No, God wanted me to be so happy about my true self. Accept the factor that I am like this, accept the factor that I'm, obviously shy, and that's the same reason why people should crave me, should look at me into the eyes and be like, I want to be like you, should come up to me and handshake me, hug me, and be like, I want to be like you because you're better than me. I wanted that, and people would think that's like bad and like evil or whatever, but no, when you integrate instead of suppressing, you're whole. You look at life so clearly, you look at life at full awareness, you start walking, and you're not walking just to walk, you're walking with purpose now in life. So that's why I would go like, every day in Miami, like I'm walking, usually every night I'm just like walking and thinking about life, adjusting, and being like, why is it that this like feeling is always towards me? Like, why does it always come up inside of my head? Why does this little evil thing just come inside on the back of my head? And I'm like, okay, if it's there for a reason, if it's there always popping up in my head, it's for a reason. So obviously you guys believe everything happens for a reason. That is the most realest shit ever. Like, every single thing that happened to this day happened for a reason. Whether you got fired, whether you got a job, whether you are making money, whether you're not making money, whether you're a failure, whether you're successful, everything happens for a reason. I was like, okay, if everything happens for a reason and I have this fucking vision that I'm better than people, then I have to accept my true self. Because imagine if I suppress it. That is a problem with people nowadays. They suppress the real authentic shadow of themselves. And imagine if I was just going off based off, oh, I just want to provide for my family, I just want to do this for me, I just want to help out my little brother because like, he's struggling and shit. Like, no, that is the bare minimum. When you can walk and say that is the bare minimum, that is what I was supposed to, that's what I was destined to do, that's like the bare minimum, right? But the real me would do the bare minimum and find out the real reason why he wanted to do that. That way I can work on my shit with clarity. That way I can talk to people with clarity. That way I can set goals and plans in my life with intention and conviction, without just setting goals. Because some people will make goals and be like, oh, I want to hit 100K a month. But why do you want to hit 100K a month? To make a lot of money? No, I want to hit 100K a month so everybody looks at me online saying, I want to be like that person, I want to be like Dylan, I want to look like Dylan, I want to be an authority like Dylan because he's making so much money. And I'm getting closer to that every single day because I'm being my most authentic self, being my whole self. And it's like, it feels so great now because like I don't question myself anymore. If I suppress the fact that I was dark, if I suppress the fact that I didn't listen to my unconscious and was just only conscious in my life, then I would just feel so lost. And it's the people that don't make it in life are the people that are lost, the people that don't see a vision. When they say I don't see a vision in my life, I don't know where to start, I don't know where I'm going, they do not know their own, they do know their own shadow, but they don't actually integrate it. They don't know their like purpose, which is them not like actually integrating their shadow, their monster, their evilness inside of them. And it's not bad. I hate when people say like, no, you have to be a good person, you cannot do that, that's very, very bad of you. It's not like in the Bible it also said like you have to go through a lot of shit and actually see light, which is like obviously going through hell to get to heaven. I went through a lot of things in my life. You and every viewer here, whether it's like 10,000, 50,000, 100,000 people looking at me, you went through so much shit. You are going through so much traumas. You are going through all these situations. Why would I just use that and just be like, oh, I just want to have a good life? I'm going to use all those things and feel like I deserve to have my dream lifestyle because of every single thing that I went through and because of the dark self of me that thinks that I'm better than people. I deserve everything. And then it just came to me. I started easily doing my work, I started easily being more closer to God. I didn't force anything at all, which is why affirmations and quotes and just saying like I am, that helps. But if you just focus on that, nothing will happen because you're not really feeling the emotion towards it. But to feel the emotion towards it, you need to be your most authentic self, which is the highest vibration you could ever be on. Aside from prayer, because prayer is a very, very high form of manifestation to get your dream life. Authentic, you can't pray if you're not authentic. That's why when I would go pray and be like, oh, I please give me God this lifestyle, please help out my parents because they're going through so much shit. When I was like, I am the most respected, I am the rich one in the family, I am all these different things, and everything that I said that was bare minimum would follow right after that. And then I got my dream life very, very easily. It did not take any sort of time. It did not take me 2 or 3 years. It took me like 4 or 5 months to really see changes in my life. The situation that I went through with my dad, if I didn't look at it and like, okay, maybe he's just like my dad, he's just tough on me. If I looked at it earlier and said, you know what, he has an ego over me, I want an ego over him, I want to be respected more than like my entire family. I want to be that person because I deserve it, because I want to give back to my family, I want to give back to my friends, I want to give back to everybody. But it all came down to clarity, and it's integrating the real self of you, the dark self of you. No one is willing to admit this because they are so going based off society and saying like, no, you just have to be very, very nice and humble, never like be realistic. That's what they say all the time, be realistic. No, like you just have to help people and then you're good and then you go to heaven. Like that's not how it works. I feel like how you get to heaven is being so fulfilled, but you have to know your authentic self to be fulfilled, or else you'll just be lost and not have a purpose. So everyone that watches the video from now on, this is your sign to be your whole self and walk in this life, because this life is going to give you a lot of situations, but if you can walk in this life with a smile on your face, with a purpose, and know your real authentic self, everything that you crave will just start to follow dramatically, unexpectedly, and so often to your life.